Welcome back to the show, everybody. You're watching hashtag Ask LiveLeanTV, or you're listening to us on the podcast. Today's show was, I think, overall a good show. I give it a good solid 8.9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Good questions, good answers.
Why only 8.9?
Well, you got a little feisty at
you.
You kind of did a 360 on one of your answers, and it was
please.
like, well, you just have to find out. And
we disagree. We agreed to disagree on one.
Well, you agreed, and then all of a sudden you just backstepped it and disagreed. Just watch the show and find out. What up, everybody? Welcome back to episode number 45 of
hashtag Ask LiveLeanTV.
Thanks for tuning in for another show. If you guys are new to the episode, or if you're new to the podcast, if you guys want your questions answered on this show, you have to use the hashtag. What is it again?
Hashtag Ask LiveLeanTV.
Hit it with them.
We're kind of specific about it.
So well, we have to be because we can't find the questions if we don't.
Exactly. So we search for that specific hashtag, which is Ask LiveLeanTV. So don't do Ask LLTV or just hashtag LiveLeanTV or anything like that. Otherwise, it won't make it into the search. So.
Yeah. And you can tag us on the social media network that you want to use. So you can go on our Twitter right here, on Snapchat, Instagram, and what's the other one?
Facebook.
The Book of Face, the Facebook, right there. Okay, so let's jump into the show, shall we?
Sure.
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, first question from Carrie Estes on Twitter says, Jess, when you do push-ups, why are your feet apart? Does that make it easier or harder?
Is it only me? Does Brad not have his feet apart? Like, in my opinion and my personal experience, like proper form or proper foot placement for a push-up is shoulder width apart. Sometimes you might see me have my feet like wider than hip distance, I guess. And yes, that does make a push-up slightly easier. The hardest variation would be with your feet all the way together or just on one foot. So, you know, all these variations are either slightly easier or slightly more challenging. It's not like a total game changer. I mean, a push-up's still a push-up where no matter where your feet are, but yes, the answer is your feet wider are gonna make the push-up just a teensy bit easier.
Yeah, and if you guys want to like really legitimately bang out a few one-arm push-ups, the key to one-arm push-ups, here's the trick.
Super wide
apart. Mm-hmm. But if you want to pull in more core activation, more balance, you want to work on your balance, feet really close together.
I've never seen anyone do a one-arm push-up and one leg. Have you seen that? One arm, one leg?
One arm, one leg?
Yeah.
That would be pretty bad.
Wouldn't that be nuts? I'd love to see that. If you can do it, send us a video. But for people who are just starting out on push-ups, I want you guys all to watch my video on I think it's called No More Girly Push-Ups. I'm explaining how to progress your push-ups from like not being able to do push-ups at all and how to get to like real good proper form push-ups without doing the girly kind, which is where you put your knees on the floor. So if you guys haven't seen that video, watch it now and you'll see my recommendation on how to modify your push-ups a different way that doesn't have your knees on the floor. Let's
link that video up down below, and also over on our other YouTube channel, our YouTube LiveLeanTV Daily Exercise channel, I have tons of push-up variations on that channel. So if you're tired of doing the traditional push-up, you want to challenge yourself, go watch that channel, go search for push-ups. We'll link that channel up below and go subscribe over there as well. Next question.
Wait, one more thing on the push-ups. Sorry, I can't quit until this is done. I want you guys to try it. Get on the floor right now, do a push-up with your feet together, do a push-up with your feet apart, and then you'll see like how much quote unquote easier it is with your feet apart. It's not a big difference. Okay, so do that and then you'll know the answer. Okay, so Chris Bravo says, why are some people so strong, yet they're so small? And why are some people so weak, yet they're so big?
Some people are just genetic freaks is one of the answers. Because it's true. It's like there's some small dudes out there that are like 160 pounds. And they're deadlifting like 400. They're cleaning like 300. Like they're like doing these crazy.
I've seen like 120-pound girls do that.
Yeah, so they're just predisposed to be strong. Genetically, they're strong. They train to do that as well.
I was just going to say, it's not just genetic. They do have to work at it.
Oh,
nobody just, like, without even no training at all can just walk up to 300 pounds and lift it. Not anyone that I've
absolutely.
Seen.
You got to work for it.
Yeah.
But some people are just predisposed to be stronger. So if you put that person up against somebody who just is more not predisposed for that and they train exactly the same way, some people are just tend to be stronger. And then
I don't know, babe. Genetics is one thing, one variable, but I think hard work outdoes genetics every time.
You didn't listen to what I just said.
Okay, sorry. Finish.
I said if they do exactly the same amount of work, the same program, everything is on an equal playing level, you don't think the person with more genetics is going to be able to lift more?
I just don't think you can make the argument that it is their genetics. Okay, we're just
Isn't that what we just said? Didn't we just say that like a minute ago, that these 140 pound and 120 pound girls?
No. Okay, here's what I think is that your size doesn't necessarily have to do anything with your strength. If you train for strength, you're going to be strong regardless of your size. If you train to gain size, you're going to get bigger and not necessarily stronger, because hypertrophy training and strength training are kind of two different practices. Plus, your nutrition plays a giant role in it.
Yes, you're 100% right, Bo.
Okay, all right, okay.
Okay, next question on Twitter from Lisa Carlton says, what's a good substitute for Ezekiel bread? I can't get it here, but would love some sort of bread toast with my eggs.
Okay, what country? We don't know?
We don't know.
Well, bummer that it doesn't come to your country, but if you can find any other brand of sprouted wheat, like Ezekiel bread is just a sprouted wheat bread, so it doesn't necessarily have to be that brand called Ezekiel, but hopefully your country has some sort of thing that's similar to that. You can also, I think, some Eastern European countries and stuff have like rye breads, which I think is a good substitute.
Yeah.
It's something that's it's like a dense bread, so it's like, I guess, similar texture.
There's also gluten-free breads that you could try.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to watch out for like the wrong type of oils, the wrong type of flours, and foods that are too processed. But, we've talked about this before. If you absolutely can't live without bread and it's one of your joys in life, then fit it into your meal plan. It's not going to like make or break your success. You can still eat bread and live lean, so don't stress too much about like not eating it or feel super guilty when you do eat it. And we can't control what foods you guys have access to in different parts of the world. So we're kind of just showing you what works for us. But if we were in a place where we didn't have the foods that we currently eat now, we would just find alternative choices. Just do the best you can with what you can find.
You could also use, like we use, sweet potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you can make toast out of it.
Slice up sweet potatoes very thinly. You can toast them. Like we have a recipe in our Live Lean 20 cookbook. We have build your body burgers.
Yeah, like it's a substitute for burger buns. But you can also make just like avocado toast, or I've seen people make peanut butter jelly sandwiches out of sweet potatoes.
Test it out.
Yeah. Okay, Alma J says, hello, Brad, Jess, and Kyla. She has a family member of yours made the transition to live lean with y'all.
Oh, she means Bruno or Kyla?
Yeah, I think Kyla's working on it, but she still has some baby fat.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Kyla's still, if you guys don't know, she's only 6 months old yet, so she's starting to show signs of
interest in
wanting to eat food as opposed to just booby milk.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of reaching for stuff on the plate.
Barely though. Like you give her a little bite of, mashed sweet potato and she's like, ugh. Like she's not really doesn't find it delicious yet, but she's kind of intrigued,
But she is super strong.
Yeah.
And she's super, she loves it when I play, and I love this about her. Because, I mean, I've been 100% honest. I wanted a boy. But now that I have her and see how she is and see how I can roughhouse with her and everything, and she loves it. I can hold her upside down, throw her in the air. She just big smile on her face. It makes it all worthwhile. So I think she's going to be definitely a live lean machine when she gets older.
But I think they're asking if any adult family members of ours have made the transition to living lean after previously not living lean. That's what I get from the question. So can anyone
honestly,
think of?
You guys know this. Family members are the hardest people to change. They have access to all of our stuff for free. They could have our cookbooks for free. They could have our workout programs for free. But family members will typically be the last people, especially like parents and stuff, who still look at you as their kids.
I have to say, I'm really proud of my parents because I feel like my parents have been living lean even before I was born, you guys have probably seen my parents in a couple of videos.
Yeah, but
my parents are in good shape.
That's different because they didn't learn from you.
No, they didn't learn from me.
That was the question.
Oh, yeah. So has anyone in my family learned from me? I'd have to say probably not, but I do think that they're inspired by the work that I do, and sometimes they see little tips or tricks. My dad was just saying how he loved my freakishly awesome salad video because he was here when I was filming it, so he was learning things as I was doing things. So yeah, I mean, I think it rubs off a little bit, but nobody in my family has had dramatic transformation because of my advice, if that's what you're asking. And I think like you said, it's when you're a little too close to the source, they just don't take us as seriously as you guys take us, because you don't know us and you see us as like authority figures, whereas they see us as
our kids.
So.
Good point. Okay, next question on Twitter from Kat Zinska says, why is whey shake good for post-workout? Is it because it's liquid or because it's whey? Making whey pancakes, does it equal the same effect?
Okay, liquid has something to do with it. So there's less chewing, so it's more easily absorbed into your body because it is
faster.
a liquid. Also, whey, if you guys don't know what it is, it's derived from milk. So whey is from cow's milk, and it's just the proteins separated. So have you guys heard that children's story about curds and whey? Like when you separate the whey, you remove the curds from the milk, and then you're just left with the proteins alone. So that's kind of another reason why your body's going to uptake those proteins faster and just quicker, you know, because they're separated. Now, we don't recommend a lot of processed foods, but whey is one of those things that is really convenient and helpful and helps a lot of people reach their protein goals. So it's an amazing, you know, accompaniment to your workout routine and your body transformation goals when you're trying to gain muscle. Pancakes versus smoothies.
Well, the thing is, when you mix, like when you eat the solid food versus a smoothie, which is liquid, the liquid is going to, you know, assimilate in your body a lot quicker, which is what you need after your workout.
Right.
But if you're just like looking to hit your protein goals at the end of the day or something, and getting it in fast doesn't matter, then sure, like a protein pancake is a great way to do it. So
the other thing though about protein pancakes is you're going to be cooking it with some oil, so including fat in with your meal is going to slow down the absorption. So the post-workout shake is just purely carb and protein, no fats included in that. So that's one other reason why you're going to absorb it faster than you would pancakes. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you don't like smoothies, then the pancakes would be a good alternative choice. But, you know, our ideal way to do it would be, you know, the smoothie post-workout, and then the pancakes at a different time.
Yeah, and like we cook with protein powder as well, like to make protein cookies, protein brownies, protein this and that. So it's a good thing to put in there. But for post-workout, optimally, it would be in liquid form.
Okay, Kat Stewart Baker says, what are your thoughts on running during pregnancy? So coming from someone who has recently been pregnant, 6 months ago I was pregnant, I barely ran at all during pregnancy, but I barely run at all anyway, so it wasn't like that unusual for me not to do long distance runs or anything. If you're a person who previously has done marathons and you run 3 to 4 miles a day every day and you're just like an elite runner, then running during your pregnancy can be safe for you because your body's really accustomed to it, really used to it.
Yeah, well, we should also bring up the point about you did run a little bit during your pregnancy.
I did run
and we had a little bit of scare.
Oh, that one time when I did the stairs. Okay, so
we don't know if that was attributed to it, but that's what happened directly before.
Actually, I think I had this twice. There was 2 times during my pregnancy. I don't want to get too graphic with you guys, but I had a little bit of spotting. And that's not a good thing when you're pregnant because you don't have your period while you're pregnant. So if you see blood down there, you kind of freak out and you think something's wrong. So the first time it happened, I was about 10 and a half weeks and I was, I guess you could call it running because I was doing stairs intervals. It was actually for a LiveLeanTV video. I was using a new smart sports bra and I was trying to get my heart rate up to test out the sports bra. And I think I just pushed it a little bit too much. My heart rate was getting up to 160, 170. And I don't think that was a good idea. Now in hindsight, I'm like, why did I even do that? But I was only 10 weeks along, barely had any bump yet. So it's at that point, it's your first pregnancy. You don't even feel like you're pregnant yet. So I think I was just used to my old ways of sprinting as hard as I can and whatever. But anyway, I had some spotting, freaked me out, went to the doctor, everything was all fine. But then again, in my last trimester, when I was around 9 months, I was jogging at the beach and just did a couple of short interval runs. And same thing occurred the next day. So, what we're saying is that probably was caused by the running. Did I have any serious complications? No, thank goodness. But on my next pregnancy, will I do the same or will I take it a little safer? I'll probably go a little safer. The safest things that for me during my pregnancy are all included in my LiveLean pregnancy program because I wrote that program while I was pregnant. I was actually testing out the workouts and I only included the stuff in the program that I found to be the absolute safest.
What's the URL for that
running
program?
Was not one of them. It's LiveLeanPregnancy.com.
There you go.
LiveLean Pregnancy Program will take you through your entire full-term pregnancy. and it will keep you safe.
Okay, next question on Twitter from Susie. Susie says, when performing deadlifts, I can't seem to feel the stretch in my hamstrings and my lower back hurts. Is this normal?
No.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you are doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And, you shouldn't let your feelings get in the way of that. Like, good form is good form, and it's like not arguable, and it's nothing to do with you personally. So try to set your ego aside and go back to the basic building blocks of like, what should a deadlift look like? Start looking up tutorials of deadlifts. Like, he has several great deadlift videos on LiveLeanTV daily exercises showing exactly how flat your lower back needs to be. And then also showing that some bend in the knees is okay. What I'm guessing is that you probably have your knees locked out straight and you're rounding your back every time you go up and down. That's
I mean,
guess.
there's many different variations of the deadlift. So there's the straight leg deadlift, there's the Romanian deadlift, there's the traditional deadlift, there's the sumo, like, so there's so many.
A lot of types, yeah.
But like for the traditional deadlift, you just think like, what's the first movement that your body does? Your hips should hinge. So there's a hinge at your hips go back. Then your knees are followed by that. So a lot of people just bend at the knees. They're not actually pushing their hips back.
Yeah,
and
with
then,
all of the weight forward on the toes.
And then the bar needs to stay very close to your legs to really make sure that your upper body's staying flat. And then when you come back up during the concentric, your hips then go forward and your butt, and you clench your butt, and that's when you're really...
But you're using your lower body
to move the bar back up. So it's that mind-muscle connection thing. So go watch my deadlift video over on the other channel, like I said, over on our daily exercise video. And I think it even has some deadlift videos on LiveLeanTV, this channel here. So get the form down right, seek help from a local personal trainer, do a video. You can even do a video.
Yeah, video yourself.
And like send us a link to the video and like we can critique it for you. Like we're here to help, guys.
Yeah, we'd be happy to look at that for you. Deadlifts are a hard thing to learn, and it does take a lot of practice. I mean, we used to argue about this when I was doing deadlifts wrong and he'd coach me. I would hate it. Like, it always bruised my ego a little bit, right, babe? Yeah.
Just a little.
Just a little. I would get all cranky about like him telling me I'm doing my deadlifts wrong. But in the end, did it help me and save me from back pain and everything? Yes. So you got to just like put your feelings aside and work on your basic form, and you'll be glad that you did. Okay, so this one, who's it from? Where's the name? I don't see a name on this. Okay, it's from some pretty girl. She says, I just joined the membership at Team Live Lean. And
it's pretty and smart.
Yeah. I'm super excited to get started. I haven't watched all the workouts yet, but I have a question for Ask Live Lean TV. Can your workouts be adaptable for lower back pain? Oh, and another lower back pain. I need some patience for my lower back to get better from CrossFit deadlifts. Oh my gosh. But I still need to lose 40 pounds. Can I still lose on your program without using my lower back too much in the beginning? And how would I figure out calories without the intense, if necessary, workouts? Does having a weak lower back mean I will always be the opposite of lean?
Okay, so I mean, to answer your last question.
These two questions go together.
To answer your last question, definitely not.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, just because you have a weak lower back, it doesn't mean that you're never going to be lean. I mean, the lower back is a very important part of your overall body and the mechanics of your body, but you can strengthen it when you do things properly. So you just got to kind of go back. Like, deadlifts and CrossFit, like I have an issue, like depending on how the workout's programmed, like doing technical lifts like deadlifts, squats, cleans, and jerks for time. Like quickly.
You're finally agreeing with me, aren't you?
No, yes. I've always said this. Like, there's certain aspects of CrossFit, like when it comes to the technical lifts and you're racing against the clock, it just doesn't make sense.
We are not anti-CrossFit here.
No, we're not.
I want you guys all to know that. We're not anti-CrossFit in general. It's just what he's saying.
No, yeah, it's just there's certain things that, as you know, a trainer, you know, it's just I prefer you to train with the technical lifts for the purpose of building strength. So get the clock out of there, get the form right, make sure you're creating the tension that you need.
Don't compete against other people.
So anyway, that's a side note.
Yeah.
But yes, you can still get lean without it.
And lose 40 pounds? Absolutely. With nutrition alone, I actually would love because you know, Brad and I love working out. We're not going to stop working out. But if there was someone out there that hated working out, didn't want to do it, I would love to like take that person and train them and show how much can be done with diet only. Like, we talk about this a lot. We're like, diet is so much even more powerful than your workouts are at changing your body composition. So if I had someone who didn't want to work out but was willing to do exactly the diet that we recommend, I bet you it would be an insane transformation. So absolutely, get it out of your head that without working out intensely, that you can never get lean, because that's not true.
Yeah, and since you are a member of Team Live Lean, like we do have a private Facebook group in there. People are in there very active at posting questions all the time. So if you're following this month's training program that's in Team Live Lean and you need exercise regressions or substitutions, post it in that exclusive private Facebook page, and we'll get back to you with something you can do instead of that.
Yeah, we want to help you, like especially our Team Live Lean members. Like, you guys are our clients basically, so we want to make the workouts work for you and get you the results that you want regardless of what obstacles you have.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're not aware of what Team Live Lean is, like it's like our group coaching platform. So we have like hundreds of people in there that are following a monthly training program that gets sent to them every month. There's weekly meal plans in there. There's cooking video lessons, so you can not only do you get the recipe, but you see how we cook it and everything else. There's this Facebook page where there's the accountability side of it. You have the camaraderie with other people that are doing the program. It's really cool, guys. So if you have not joined our Team Live Lean and you want to feel like you're really, really a part of this Live Lean Nation movement, Team Live Lean is where you need to be.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Once again, is
No
this?
name?
I think it's from the same girl.
Oh, sorry, it was a continuation.
This is Pretty Smart Girl again. Says, how many calories should a breastfeeding new mama add to her caloric intake? She's 5'5", 130 pounds, 6 weeks postpartum. It's my daughter, and I'm convincing her to be my Live Lean workout buddy. Awesome.
I love it. That actually sounds really similar to my stats. She said what, 5'5",
5'5", yeah, it's very similar.
I'm 5'6", 130, so that's like pretty much me. I personally added about 200 to 300 calories to my postpartum diet, which is the same that I would do for muscle building. So it's not a lot. Like it's not like an entire another meal. It's just like a couple extra nuts or something on top of your normal diet. So just make sure, I know it can be hard when you're breastfeeding, that you want to just like eat everything on the planet, because sometimes you could just feel so hungry and so exhausted from it. But the reality is it doesn't take as much energy as people think it does. So you still want her following, her regular maintenance calories, but then just boost it up just a tiny bit. So like increasing a little bit of her portion sizes on one of her meals, or adding like an extra little snack. So that's really all that's required to stay lean, healthy, and energetic, and still keep your milk flow and everything while breastfeeding. So it's nothing crazy, it's just a little bit.
And I think it's awesome that you are helping out your daughter live lean.
Super awesome.
Like typically it would be the other way around, where
Yeah.
the youngsters out there are, part of this community in LiveLeanTV world, and they're like trying to get their parents to eat healthier so that they can eat healthier and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see it being actually passed down a generation. So good.
Yeah, and it's
good
great
on
to
you.
do things together, because you guys can keep each other accountable. It's so nice. I love when I see like families do things together.
Yeah. Okay, last question of the show is from Irina Vajukajikika. Sorry if
Really?
I just butchered your name.
Yeah, I think you did.
Question is, hi guys, have tons of questions. First one, what about the fact that fruit should be eaten alone? Big hi from Spain. So
Okay.
I guess the question is,
it?
should fruit be eaten alone?
Okay. Personally, I think it's okay to eat it together with a meal. I don't consider like just fruit alone as like a complete or balanced snack. So ideally you want all of your meals to have like a good level of carbs, proteins, and fats. So if you're just eating fruit alone, you're just getting primarily carbs only.
Just sugar, yeah.
So yeah, in my opinion, no. Yeah.
Well, so why are they asking this question? Because obviously they've heard
Yeah.
a reason why. So what is that reason?
You probably are listening to people who tell you that when you eat fruit on top of a meal or with a meal, that it can kind of take longer to digest than creating, like it kind of ferments in your belly.
There's like
Not
a
to be
traffic
gross,
jam.
but yeah,
it's like
exactly.
a traffic jam in through your bloodstream and through your body, like
especially if you're having it as a dessert after you've just eaten fats and proteins. Yeah, then it's just kind of sitting there in your digestive system, like not getting uptake right away. So creates gas and creates bloating, and it can feel really uncomfortable. So that's probably what you're referring to.
And there may be some validity to that. Like there may be, like I've never looked at it. I've never looked
Tested it
through the research of it, and I'm just not going to be like, have fruit and not have anything else.
Right. You just wouldn't feel full, would you?
I'm not going to feel full, and plus, like you said, I just don't want the sugar in my body, and that's it.
Alone,
like I want to get some fat in there, get some protein in there along with it. So, like when I'm eating a fruit, like if I have an apple, there's going to be almond butter on there.
Yeah.
If I'm eating a banana, it's going to be a part of a post-workout shake.
Right.
If I'm going to have like Live Lean cereal from our LiveLean20diet.com book,
has protein and
it's
fats
going to have
together.
protein and fats and blueberries and whatever other fruits are in there. So yeah, like I'm always food combining when it comes to fruits. But you know what? If any of you guys have any experience with it or have read the research behind it, you can fill us all of us in down below on what you found. And but to me, I'm all good doing the way I'm doing it.
Yeah, and I would challenge you to try it out yourself and see how you feel just having fruit alone, and then see how you feel having fruit with other foods included, and then kind of compare your experiences, and that should give you a good answer on what you should do for you.
Yeah, there you go, guys. That's the show. That was show number 45.
Wow, geez.
So we got lots more questions in the hopper.
Yes.
So keep the questions coming in. But like we've talked about this before, we have been thinking of new ways to freshen up the show, and we've been talking about doing call-in shows, or
we want to call you guys on the phone.
We'll go on Twitter or on Instagram or something, or Snapchat, and we'll say, give us your phone number, and then we'll pick a select few and we'll call you guys.
And then we could talk about your questions like more in depth and kind of get more of your
we can get more
background,
context behind the questions.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we have to keep the questions and the answers pretty short to get everything in. But I just think it would be cool to interact with you guys, give you guys more access to us.
Yeah.
And I think it would be fun that way. So if you guys are down for that,
that would be really fun.
Let us know. I guess that would be the question of the day. If you guys
Do you want them to leave their phone number here?
Maybe not on this. Let's just find out if you're cool with, if you want to run with the show that way, if that would be cool
give
with
us
you
your
guys.
vote, yes or no. Would you let us call you on the phone and give us your phone number for an episode?
Or
yes or no question.
We could try to rig it up somehow that it's a call. I think it'd be easier for us to call you guys as opposed to calling into like a central line.
Oh yeah.
Answering and like it being the.
Oh my God! If we had like we need to call you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So that's the question of the day. Get active down in the comments. If you have any other questions or if you have any other feedback from the show, leave it down in the comments as well. We love hearing from you guys, and I think that is it.
Thanks for watching all 45 episodes, if you've seen all of them.
Yeah, and big shout out over on the podcast as well. So seriously, guys, if you've not gone over to the podcast yet, please do me a favor. Go over to the podcast. I know this is a video first show where YouTube is the prime driver of this show, but we want you over on the podcast as well. We want the reviews over on the podcast as well so we can get higher in the rankings. So go over to iTunes or Stitcher, search for a hashtag AskLiveLeanTV. Write a comment, just watch the end of this video because I show you how quickly it is to do, and leave a review, and we would absolutely love it if you did that.
Thanks, guys.
That's it.
See you
Thanks
at the
for
next
watching. Okay. Live Lean. Boy. Big shout out to all our Live Lean podcast listeners. We love you and would so appreciate it if you would give this podcast a review. We need your feedback to improve and grow. So please give us a review right now.